What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to showcase some Give Me Glow products. Now the end look is what you guys see today, and I just kind of want to talk about some of these products really quickly, as well as showcase some of the products that I previously already had from the brand. So the highlight, I feel like, for everybody will be the Pastel Dream palette that I picked up from them. So their palettes retail for quite the hefty price tag. I believe all of their palettes pretty much retail somewhere around the 50s. You do get a lot of product in them, but they are expensive. So you get 35 grams or 0.123 ounces of product. These are handmade by the brand and they are distributed by the brand. The brand is based in Dallas, Texas. There's 12 months shelf life, and everything that is on the packaging of the sleeve is actually on the packaging of the palette, which I do appreciate. So yeah, really pretty palette. There are 12 shadows in here, and with each matte you get like an associated shimmer, which is really helpful for those who may not really know what to do with color yet, or just feel more confident when they have just one color on their eyes. So I really do like that. I really do appreciate it. I also did pick up one highlighter and one blush. They recently launched these two ranges. Well, let me not lie. They recently launched the blush range, and they've always kind of had highlighters, but they seem to keep like repackaging and redoing their highlighters. So for the blushes, they come in this packaging. It is called a Dream Blush. And on the top, you get that beautiful packaging. Same with the bottom. On the sides, you get some branding. And then on the back is where you get some real information. So this product comes with 9.4 grams or 0.034 ounces of product. They also tell you kind of the shade that you're gonna get on the kind of coloring up top, which I really do appreciate. And yeah, it's a really nice attention to detail. Also in the inside, they actually have like mini blush compacts, which is really cute, honestly. The compact is kind of one of those basic compacts, nothing crazy unique about it at all. There is a black packaging with the Give Me Glow logo, and then on the back it is labeled not only with the name of the blush but also the amount of product, all of that jazz, which once again I do really appreciate. The opening is a bit much, honestly. I can't stand opening these compacts, but let's see if I can actually get it open. Good gracious. There we go. It takes a bit much. You really have to press that button to really get it open. But this is the blush that I picked up. I wanted something that was unique, but I also wanted to try the formula. So that's why I got this really unique kind of mustardy yellow blush. I love a yellow blush. You guys have seen me wear yellow blushes if you watch my channel. And this is unique to me. I wouldn't have thought to wear this. So I was like, why not? Why not? I do have it on my face today, and it does kind of come off very natural, kind of neutral, which I don't mind at all. I actually like it. So that's that. I like the shade. I'm not going to talk too much about the formula. Y'all gonna have to watch more of the video. And then as for the highlighter, like I said, they've been slowly changing their packaging and all that for the highlighters, but here is what it looks like right now. As with the blushes, you get something on the top and then something on the bottom. You also get stuff on the sides, and then you also get details on the back for the highlighter. So the writing on the highlighter and the blushes are different. I prefer the writing on the blush because I can actually read that, but I think this says that you get 7.5 grams or 0.265 ounces of product in this highlighter. And as with the blush, you get the same exact compact, okay, and you get the information exactly the same on the back. Same with that blush, although for whatever reason this clicker is easier to open, so that's interesting. And then this is the highlighter that I picked up. So I wanted to kind of pick up a very unique highlighter, something that I felt was kind of would work with this one. But also, once again, like I said, just be unique. Gosh darn it. And these are 2 unique shades. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you all, just so that you guys can see what they look like on my skin tone. Like I said, they are on my skin tone right now, but just in case you were interested, this is my blush, which is in Hey Honey, and this is the highlighter, which is in Late Night Coastal, right? No, Late Night Coastin' and Hey Honey. I think that these are nice shades. And that's all I'm going to say for right now. You guys got to wait to see more in the actual video. Then the last thing, well, second to last thing that I picked up from this brand in this video was actually an eyeshadow primer. I wanted to try out the eyeshadow primer. I had wanted to try them out previously, but there was just nothing that I wanted to pick up from the brand, and I just didn't want to make an order, and I figured let's just get it all together. So I went ahead and picked up the black. A little goes a long way, okay guys? A little goes a long way. Like, what I just put on right there could low-key probably do 2 different eyes. It is a lot of product. It really stretches out. And yeah, that is that product. And in this product, you get 6.5 milliliters or 0.022 ounces. And I forgot to show you guys the packaging, my bad. So this is the front, this is the side, which I think I have upside down for you all. You also get this side with the ingredients, and then yeah, that's it. And then on the top you have the label for the actual shade, and then there is the label on the bottom of the product for the actual shade. So I really do appreciate all of the labeling. It's the small details, but it really does help for those who, you know, have a lot of crap. I did also pick up 4 brushes from the range. I did use these brushes in the tutorial, so just stay tuned. The only one that I didn't actually use in the physical tutorial was this one, but I did end up using it to set my brow bone highlight, and it works nice. And yeah, I will talk to you guys about my overall review about these brushes at the end. Now, as for comparing, I did want to compare these products based on products that I previously had from the brand, because it felt like there was some differences, you know, and it's going to take me a little while. I changed how I kept these products. So give me 1 second. Let me shop through my collection to find the specific highlighter that I'm looking for and the specific eyeshadow that I used as a blush. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I picked up 2 eyeshadows that I used to use as blushes, and then 2 eyeshadows that I used to use as highlighters from this brand. And for me, it was just better. So let me show you, because I actually think that they were showcasing these at the shimmery ones as highlighters at the time. So this is in the shade Sunny from the brand, and I used this as a blush. It was extremely bright, which I enjoyed, and it added a punch, man. It added a punch. Then I also used this shade, which is Strawberry Lollipop. Once again, very vibrant, very punchy, but I just really enjoyed it. So there's a difference. I feel like there's definitely a difference, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, there's that. And then also the 2 highlighter shades that I used, which was Princess Pink, and this was insane. That's Princess Pink. And then the other shade, if I wanted more orangey, was Fireworks. Now, are these a slightly chunkier than the actual highlighter, which is up here? Yes, but I don't know. I just feel like they gave a little bit something different. I don't know. I need to go back and test these out a little bit again, but I just figured I'd show you guys the pigmentation level of the products that I used to use from the brand, and then kind of the pigmentation level of what is presented as their actual blushes and as their actual highlighters. So that's that. Now what I'm going to do is clean off my arm really quickly, and I realized that I did not swatch the palette, so I do want to swatch that really quickly. And since I'm already in this view, I will just swatch it like this. So just give me 1 second. Alrighty, so per usual, we're just gonna do row by row by row. And yeah, this is gonna be different for me. I don't really swatch this way a lot, but hopefully it's still helpful for you all. It's just honestly, I don't have the time to change my setup to do the other version for you all today. So the first shadow we're gonna talk about is Lavender Sky. And as you can see, this is a very, very beautiful, beautiful purple with a light, I would say, gold shift in there. It's really, really pretty. Then the matte that goes along with it is La La Land. I do have that matte on today, in case you're wondering. Really pretty, really pretty. Then we have Pika Blue, which is the blue metallic in this palette, and this is kind of more of a true ocean blue. There is a slight, I would say, maybe silver running through it, but it pretty much is just a typical blue. And then the last shadow in this row is Queen of Clouds. So hopefully my pinky can pick up enough product. Yeah, that did pretty good. And there you go. So that is the first row. Shade wise, beautiful. Swatch wise, beautiful. So I'm sorry if things look different. My battery died on me, so I had to go get switch it out. So next we're gonna go into the shade Twinkle Twinkle, which is the first shadow in the middle row. And this is a really, really pretty peachy corally shade. I would say it leans more peachy than like pinky, which is perfect for me. It actually is closer to my nail polishers, which I love. And then the next shade is Peach for the Stars. This is actually what's on my lids today. And I also do have the peachy shade in my inner crease, in case you're wondering. So this is what's on my lids today, and this doesn't have as much of a base color to it. Whereas these two definitely have a base color. This one just is a little bit more sheeny, which it's always good to do swatches on your palettes just to see the actual shades, not necessarily to see how they're going to work, but I like to see that because yeah, you'll see in the video. Okay, next we have Pink Rain, which is just a basic, I would say, bubblegum pink. It is quite white based, so if you're somebody darker than me or even my complexion, you may not like that on your eyes, but we'll see. I haven't tried it yet, but it is quite white based, especially compared to these other ones. Even this purple looks to be a lot more depth worthy, even without a cream base to kind of deepen her up. And then the last shade in this row is Daydream, which is the pinky metallic, and this looks to be just a normal icy pink, but there definitely is more pink undertone, whereas this one, it really doesn't pop. Maybe it's my undertones, maybe it's my skin tone, I don't really know, but that what is it, Peach for Stars, really just does not really pop off of my skin as much as I would particularly like. Then we have the shade Too High for this. I'm wondering what type of high, Miss Ma'am. And this is the green metallic. Really, really pretty. Once again, you definitely get back to having a true kind of base pigment here. It's a really pretty like seafoam green with what I would say would be like a true gold sheen to it. Really, really pretty. It has a similar sheen to this lavender up here. Really pretty shades. And then the next one is Magic Mint, which is the matte that is associated with it. Really beautiful shade. I mean, I can't even knock that. That is beautiful pigmentation, beautiful shade. I didn't wear it today, but I would love to see if it'll work for me. Next we have Rise and Shine, and this is the metallic yellow, and I did attempt to wear this today, but ultimately it just did not do what I wanted in the look, so I said no. But this is pretty much, this is a yellow, okay? This is a very strong yellow, so in case you were thinking this was going to be like an inner corner highlight, I don't know, sis. I don't know. It's pretty strong of a yellow, especially once again compared to that peachy shade. It's strong. Does that make sense? I don't really know how to explain it. And then the last one is It's So Fluffy, which honestly just reminds me of Despicable Me. With, if you know me, Despicable Me is my jump, and they're coming out with a Minions 3. I'm gonna be in that theater, okay? But anyways, this is the yellow. It's not the most pigmented yellow, and I'm actually gonna take the time to swatch a previous yellow that I had from the brand. It's not the most pigmented, but this is a more pastel palette, so that may be why. So yeah, this is the palette, and let me see how I can come in. I'm gonna try and come in. This is the palette right here. These are the swatches that I did just right here on camera with you all. I did not change them at all. I'm just kind of holding my arm so that the swatch area is fully in view for you all. But yeah, this is the palette. It looks really, really pretty. And yeah, let me swatch that one shadow that I was talking about really quickly, and then we will go into the tutorial. And that is the shade Sunny. I previously had this. I believe this was in their summer palette, but I just didn't want to spend the money for that. I just wanted to get the shade. And so as you can see, this maybe isn't as bright, but it has more yellow, whereas this one definitely has more white. So I just thought it'd be interesting to show you guys that straight up comparison. Otherwise, I think I have talked on enough, and you guys are just ready to see the products on your girl's face. So yeah, let's get into the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it, and comment down below. I'd love to hear it. Let's go. So like I said, I got face products. I got one blush and one highlighter. Honestly, you guys, I've just been buying so much products and so much makeup. I just could not afford to get more. Honestly, I couldn't afford to get this either. But when you're in a low, this is what I do. So I got the shade Hey Honey, which is like a mustard shade, really. It's like a mustard blush, and I picked this up thinking that it was going to show up, and I have already previously used Give Me Glow's eyeshadows as blushes, so I figured, you know, this was like a really safe bet. Now I did apply a little bit of this yesterday. I like to try things off camera sometimes, so this is not a full-on first impression, more of a second impression for these cheek products. And yeah, okay, let me actually clean off this brush really quickly. Okay, I went and spot cleaned my brush. This is just an angled blush probably from Wet n Wild, really dirty, really old, nothing fancy. Then what I'm gonna do is just go into this Give Me Glow blush. What I will say is there is a bit of kick up. It's not a lot, but there is a bit of kick up, and we're just going to now apply. Okay, first off, I knew that this was going to have a brown base, so I knew it wasn't going to be like super apparent. But if you guys know me and if you follow my channel, I love yellow blush. I will rock a bright yellow blush. I've done it in the past. Like I said, I will talk to you guys hopefully about that in the intro. I have rocked actually one of the single bright yellow blushes that I had from Give Me Glow as a matte yellow blush, so I will do it. I love it. I think it's just really fun and unique, and I just have fun, honestly, when it comes to blush. I'm not really particular, but even though this is not as bright as I maybe would have wanted, it shows up and it is adhering to my skin. Now granted, as I said, I did have to set my my base, and I do tend to do it. It just kind of depends on if I set my base before or after, but I did use this formulation yesterday without setting my base first. I actually waited to set my base after, and I found that it still blended and built up beautifully. So I'm really liking this so far. I wouldn't say that this is like a full on like matte blush. Like I said, you're not going to really see it all that when we're really close. I think you have to see it like farther away, but it's not super harsh matte. I think this is more of kind of a skin like finish, if you will. And yeah, like I said, this is the blush, and I'll just kind of blend it out. It really does blend in with my skin tone, mainly because it has such a strong brown undertone. Would I have loved if it had a little bit more yellow in there? Of course, but it's all good. It is all good. Now I need to see if I have a somewhat clean highlighter brush. Okay, so today I'm going to be using my Linda Hallberg 306. This is very similar to the shape that I like from Sigma Beauty. So in case you like that shape as well, I would say give this a try. Although I do kind of prefer the Sigma Beauty because it's a thicker actual amount of bristles in the brush. So now I'm going to try the Give Me Glow highlighter. This is in Late Night Coasting, and I'm just going to swatch this one as well for you all. And there we go. Very icy highlighter. There's like a light, I would say, I don't even know, light kind of gold-ish reflect to it, but it's not like a light gold. It's like a silver with a splash of gold in there. And so I do think that makes a drastic difference. It does pick up quite a bit of product. Whew. We're just gonna share the wealth on both of my cheeks. Once again, I did wear this yesterday, and it didn't appear to me that it was what is that called, where it does like a cast when you're looking straight forward. And yeah, I don't see a cast when I'm looking into the camera, but I mean, I'm sure I'll see better angles of it when I'm doing the footage. So with this shade, I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit less like straight up silver icy, and I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more like a very light white gold, similar to the Pat McGrath Bridgerton highlighter, which it is icy, don't get me wrong, but it is a light white gold, and that's what I liked about it. I liked that you still had that gold to it, but it was just icy. And yeah, I mean, it blends in nicely, I think, to my skin. It is quite light though, so if you are somebody of my complexion, you may not love this. Formula wise though, I think it's nice. There is no glitter. It's pretty much just the color. You know, I think it's fine. I don't think that this is like a groundbreaking formula. Honestly, I actually think I prefer their formula, their original formula. I think they've reformulated it a couple of times. Beautiful. I mean, it's a banging nose highlighter though. But on my cheeks, I don't know if I necessarily love this shade. I don't know. I just wish that it had a little bit more yellow to it. Very similar to like the color pop that they just came out with, the Winnie the Pooh collection, where you see that yellow base to it. I wish that that's what they had done with this particular highlighter. I think it would have really matched with the blush a lot more, and I would have fully enjoyed it a lot more. But overall, so far, I don't think these are terrible. I would say I prefer the blush so far than the highlighter, but that's just personal preference. I also have been reaching more for a glittery highlighter, and I knew that going in, this wasn't going to have any glitter. I just wanted to test out the formula since I was already buying quite a bit. So yeah, I did. So next is eyeshadow primer. So I did pick up an eyeshadow primer from them. I don't have very many, and I figured why not. This is, they call it the full coverage eyeshadow primer, and I got it in the only shade that was unique from my collection, which is Outline. So this is a black. So this is going to be interesting to see how I wear this and use it today. I don't know if I'm going to use it as a full on like primer or if I'm going to just apply it in a certain area or something. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I am excited to have it in my collection. And then the eyeshadow palette that I picked up is this Pastel Dreams palette. As I said in my new makeup releases video, I decided I wanted to go ahead and update my indie brand pastel palette kind of roundup video that I've done in the past. And this is a palette that I knew, you know, people would say, well, what about this one? What about that one? So I figured I'd pick it up and kind of head off any of those questions. If you're wondering, I also do already have the Shroud Cosmetics Creepy Cute Volume 1 palette ordered. I don't believe it's shipped yet, but I do have that ordered, so we will see. Okay, so now I'm gonna just go ahead and prime with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. This is in medium deep. Interesting. What am I gonna do? Okay, first what I think I want to do is go into It's So Fluffy. You guys know I love a yellow, hence the blush. So we're gonna go into It's So Fluffy with the biggest blending brush, and we're just going to put her, let's see, let me scoot in. Okay, we're zoomed in as much, so I'm just gonna scoot in, and we're just going to apply It's So Fluffy. Per usual with Give Me Glow, there is quite a bit of kick up. So if you haven't tried this brand, let me see if I can get my camera to focus on this shade. There is quite a bit of kick up. It is just typical for this brand. It is the way that they formulate their shadows, honestly, why there's so much bloody kick up. And yeah, they also claim that based on their formulations, that's why they can't make a smaller pan. So yeah, anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and pack this on. I am just gonna bring this a little bit more into the center because I think I'm only gonna do a two-toned crease today. And I will go back and set my brow bone highlight most likely. Then what I'm going to do is just wipe this brush off. I'm not going to actually clean it, but I'm just going to wipe it off on my microfiber towel. And then I'm going to go into the shade Twinkle Twinkle, which is like this beautiful, beautiful peachy shade. And I'm just going to apply that on the outer crease area. And then per usual, I'm just going to take the time to blend in between the two shades subtly. I want to get that beautiful, beautiful orange in the middle to show, you know, the good quality that this brand's shadows are, if it's possible. But if it's not possible, I don't want this to become muddy. And I am seeing that really pretty orange, which does, like I said, show that this brand's eyeshadow is really, really good quality. You want to see that that capability in any eyeshadow that you use that, you know, is actually what complementary, I think is the word, on the color wheel. I think I'm done with this brush for right now. What I want to do now, this could be disastrous. I'm gonna take the black and I want to just do one little dot in the corner and just blend it in so I can deepen out my outer V, but with the shadows that I am provided here. So okay, so that's all I put, and I'm just going to use the brush that I picked up, which is supposed to blend out primers and stuff, or which I hope to blend out primers. And oh good gracious, I think I put too much. And at this point, I'm more so pouncing than blending, because I don't want her to get crazy. And I'm gonna use my finger mainly just to try and kind of calm it down, because I feel like it's just literally a little goes a long way with this product. Okay. All right, so I think now I need to just go back to my crease and hopefully reapply my shades. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is use the smaller, is this gonna work? We'll try it. I'm gonna use the small-ish brush, which is the G327, and I am gonna go into La La Land, which is the purple, and that is what I'm gonna try with this brush to pack on the black. And my thought process is, because a darker base typically makes a shadow darker, with this purple, although it is pastel, putting a dark base under, I would be able to get more dimension than I maybe otherwise would. And so that's why I decided to pick this order of operation. And I did put a little bit of the black on my lower lash line, so I am just going to go ahead and use that same purple. No, I'm so sorry. I am just going to use that same purple and pack it down. And then since this is actual blending brush, even though I was using it to pack, I can blend out the outer edge of it with this exact same brush, and there shouldn't cause any problems. So that is what it's going to look like, hopefully. So I'm just going to do that on the other eye, and I am just going to take, once again, this brush again, and I'll actually show you guys. I'm going to go back into Twinkle Twinkle, which was that more peachy shade, and that is going to be the ultimate kind of blending out shade down here. It may not show up all that much just because of the nature of the shadow, but I do like to kind of connect and build that way. So I'm going to do that on this eye really quickly, and then I might finish this eye up just to figure out what I want to put on my lid in my inner corner, and then I'll come back and show you guys. Okay, so this is the finished look on my, what is this, left eye, and I'm just going to take you through the couple of steps that I did on my right eye. So I did try out, while I was away on camera, the Peach for the Stars shimmer and the Rise and Shine shimmer. I was not feeling the yellow shimmer, which is very surprising. So I ended up just going completely over it with this one. And I will say, while I'm applying, when I was trying to pick up these shimmers, I did not like how they were picking up on a brush, like at all. So I ultimately just went ahead and picked them up on my finger. On a brush, it was just very thin. It also wasn't getting like the pigment, so I could just see like a very light shadow, a very light kind of shimmer, silver shimmery shadow, but I couldn't really get like the shade, like I said. So I did not like that. What I will do though, so now that I've kind of gone over it with my finger, I will take the brush that I use. I happen to use an ABH 18, in case you're wondering, and I'm just going to use it to kind of tighten up my line at the top. But that's that. Also, mad amount of fallout. I don't know what that's about, but mad amount of fallout that I am not okay with. And yeah, that's pretty much what I put on my lid. I did go ahead and add a liner in my waterline and also my tight line. It is just my LA Girl. This is the wrong one. Where is she? It is my LA Girl Ultimate Black. I also did, of course, do a winged liner, and I did that with my NYX Epic Liner in black. And then for mascara, I went ahead and put on my Maybelline Sky High. So I'm going to do all of that really, really quickly, and then we'll zoom out and I'll talk to you guys about my feelings so far testing out these products. Now that I've been able to at least put everything on my face and walk you guys through how I would potentially use them if I was using them all together. Alrighty guys, so let's kind of roll through all of these products. I didn't say at the beginning, I don't think, but basically anything that I didn't showcase on camera was all Project Pan. Everything will be listed down below. Okay, let's start off with the two cheek products that I tested out. I really do like this blush formula so far. I do obviously need to test it out a little bit more. I've only tried it now twice. I will say the packaging is not my favorite. It does take a bit of effort to actually get it to pop open, and it doesn't like pop open. So you push this and you just kind of have to hope and pray that you pushed it hard enough. Like, it's just, I'm not a huge fan of the compact. So if I were to pick up more from this range, I would probably only just pick up the pans. I believe you can pick it up pans only and then pan with the compact. I believe it wasn't that expensive. I think these were about $10, which is pretty good for an indie brand, especially with the amount of product that you got in here. You got 0.340 ounces or 9.7 grams. That's a lot of product. So pretty much you get one of these blushes and you're set for life. But like I said, the compact is trash. I just broke some of my nail polish trying to open up the compact, but the color I really do like, and because I like how this is shown up on my skin tone, although faint, it's still like another kind of neutrally toned blush, and I've been really enjoying neutral blushes, but this is yellow based, so I love that. So I would recommend this so far. Like I said, I do need to test this out more, but in case you were wondering, compared to like the Clarity, unfortunately the Honey Mustard, I just did not like it. I didn't think that it adhered to my skin really well. I think that this one adheres really well compared to that one, obviously. And then I also just like the finish. I mean, they both kind of had more matte finish, but I feel like this is a little bit more satin than this one. So yeah, anyways, I will be doing a roundup. I do have my Unearthly, so I'll be doing a full-on roundup comparing these in the future. So just stay tuned for that particular video, but just wanted to give you those tidbits real quick. As for the highlighter, I am not particularly in love with this shade, although it works. Like, I don't think that you can see any like weirdness on the sides when I'm looking forward or when I'm looking this way. It's just a very light blush, but I'm not particularly in love with the undertone. I really wish that this had like a lot more of that gold or yellow in there just to make it work, not only with this particular blush, but with my skin tone. I find that I think it's like an olive. I feel like I have an olive neutral undertone, and so when I find things that have a yellowy base, it just works beautifully on my skin tone, and I think it just pops really nicely. So overall, I think the formulas are really good. You just have to find the shade that works for you, and honestly, this was the only kind of unique-ish shade based on the swatches on their website for me. That's why I picked this one up, and this was definitely the only unique shade. Although now that I've tried the formula, I may go back and pick up one or two, but I'm definitely going to do that on sale. I'm not going to pick them up full price because I believe I picked these all up more or less full price. As for the brushes, I think these brushes are fine. I think if you happen to be on the website and you need some brushes and you just wanted to buy them all together, I think you can. Are they revolutionary? Are they extraordinary? No, they're not. This pretty much reminds me very much so of a Real Techniques brush, which you can pick up in store and actually see what it's going to look like. And the other three, although I didn't try this smallest one, I just think that they're okay. I don't think that they're revolutionary. I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna try them more, obviously, but as of right now, they're just nothing revolutionary so far. The eyeshadow palette I think is nice. This is my very first Give Me Glow eyeshadow palette, although I have picked up single shadows from them in the past. I think this is nice. I like that they give you kind of the shimmer to match with the matte in case you really only want like a one-noted look. You can really get that easily. I think that this look came out beautiful. I think the formula is nice. I wish that these weren't all so the same depth level, specifically the mattes. I wish that there was some lighter mattes and then some deeper mattes. I was able to make it work with this. I think I like the depth that I was able to get with this. Could I have wanted more? Of course, but I just think that with the amount of muted kind of same noted depth that these mattes present, that's what you get. As for the metallics, these don't remind me of the metallics that I have already in my collection. These seem to be a slightly different formula, and I say that because I distinctly remember being able to use a brush or my finger and getting the same amount of shimmer and opacity, whereas today I just was not able to get that. I could only get this amount of opacity and shimmeriness with my finger. I tried it with the spray, I tried it with the brush, I just did not like it. So, you know, this is definitely going to take some time for me to really get my full thoughts on this. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Also, last thing with the eyeshadow palette, I have used their shimmers and their mattes as blushes. So let's say you just don't want to pick up their actual blushes, you just want to pick up a eyeshadow palette and use them as both. You can do that. I have personally done that in the past. I clearly didn't do that today. I really wanted to showcase the products that specifically are for blush and highlighter, but I have used them as blushes in the past, and I would thrive with this as a blush. I would thrive. So I will go ahead and test all of those options out, and in my next palette roundup, which keeps getting delayed, I will go ahead and talk to you guys about this particular palette and like all of those options that you can use. As for the primer, I like that it's a little bit that goes a long way. I really do. There is like a chunky doe foot applicator. There's a very short leash, so you really do need to like put in the right area, or you know, it might be a little sketchy, but overall I think it was able to deepen up that purple slightly. I don't know, I definitely need to test it out without necessarily having this as the base, maybe testing it out as a primer, or you know, just a lot of testing needs to be done with this. But so far I am liking it. I think that the matte applied beautifully on top of it, and we'll just see how long it lasts and if there's any weirdness with it. So definitely happy that I picked this up. There also are other shades, so there's like a more shimmery version of their primer, and they also do have a range of like matte but skin tone shades. I did not get the shimmery one because more recently I picked up a glitter primer from Clarity, so I figured there's no reason for me to pick them both up, but I did. But I do have them both. So yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully that's it. I'm sorry, I feel like I rambled on a lot, but I just wanted to showcase and talk about briefly all of these products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sound off down below if based on this video you're going to be picking up more blushes or products from the brand in general. Like I said, I think all of the products have a very good formula. It's just whether it's the perfect one for me to pick up more, I don't really know, but I think formula wise, nice. And shade wise, I think I did pretty decent. Like I said, I think that highlighter is strictly going to be a nose and lip brow bone highlight, or what is this? Cupid's bow highlighter, which reminds me, I didn't set my brow bone highlight. I am a mess today. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys tomorrow with my new makeup releases, which I think I'm going to film with this look. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.